They think that I just come in there and look for knockoffs, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, well, I'm here. Who want to fight with me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me.
Demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Body Work. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Body Work Boxing. It feels so good to be back. It's a Friday afternoon. And I gotta make sure that everything is right. Listen, it's C-Dub, aka Reggie Bush. Salute Body Work. Yes, he crossed the point, no return, Mr. Lopez, but they will let him have a pass. Sad. Hey, C-Dub, I meant to tell you, man, when you hopped on my panel, man, hop on my panel again and send me your email. Like in the private chat, either send me your email or your contact info. So whenever I go live or whenever I got something that may cater to what you got going on, I can just reach out to you. You ain't gotta wait to get the notification. YouTube be hating, man, but never underestimate the power of influence. But I'm gonna get back into it. I just like to acknowledge people because normally I don't even acknowledge comments until I get through with the informational portion. Cookie Monster, Body Work. I appreciate you, Cookie Monster. You so consistent. So consistent. Sounding good. I appreciate that, Cookie Monster. But this is my thing, right? We gotta understand in the day and time that we're in. We gotta understand the day and time that we're in. Whereas a lot of the people that we see out and before us, right? Because when we get online, we're stepping into a different realm. Like, we're not going to be absent-minded of that fact that when we get online, we're stepping into a different realm. A lot of people take their true selves off and they step into another realm when they get online, so they can be whoever you want. You got people that'll tell you this. They can be whoever they want. They, blah, blah. You can just whatever when you get online. Me, I don't ever forget. That's why I say if I don't know you like that outside of this online, like Wi-Fi, like, well, it took Wi-Fi for us to know each other unless I've known you. I don't know you when I shut down this computer. I want everybody to know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't forget that. Like, when I'm online, I'm online like everybody else. I don't forget that the real world exists. I don't forget years ago when I really was like harping in on reading books and understanding that words create worlds. It says, how small is the rudder that guides the ship? And it's like we get away from basic principle things, like stuff that we would never write. I hear people arguing all day and all night online about something that would not go down if we were in each other's presence. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, what I tend to tell myself is that when I get online and this is a business or whatever, I tend to understand that a lot of these guys are on some level of the 48 laws of power. If I'm gonna be real with you, I believe that they're on some version of the 48 laws of power, and you'll see them do different things. Like, they might wear this or paint something on their body like this, or they might just do that. They'll do something to let you know that I'm down. I'm on the checkerboard. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be the Drake of this shit. I'm just trying to probably land somewhere along the lines of the Lloyd Banks of this shit. A lot of these young dudes is out here practicing the 48 laws of power. Now, the crazy thing is, you don't know which one they trying to play out. You don't know if they fully committed to one of them. And I got it down so long ago, and it was an epiphany to me because I had already published a book years before, so I already knew what it was. Like, I'm a writer of writers, a rapper of rappers, a talker of talker, a speecher of speeches. When I heard that Jay-Z was getting paid such and such for a feature, I said, man, this man is robbing Z Bank. Never had a loss for words, but I know somewhere one of these laws of power, it's just been so long since I had it. I've just been going back through, and one of them really schools you on taking the path of least resistance, man. And I truly believe that, man, a lot of these guys have found themselves, man, taking the path of least resistance, man. Like, they give us no resistance. You know what I'm saying? If I say us, that might mean me and you as an intellectual. That might mean me and you because we got dreads. That might be me and you because we come from the East Coast. That might be me and you because we came from a single parent home. That might be me and you. Whatever you identify as, me and you. We understand that out here in the real world, man, words have weight, right? They have power. We know that words create worlds. And I'm sitting here, I'm kind of stuck. I'm really kind of stuck on how we keep allowing Teofimo Lopez to get away with saying certain things out of his mouth, man. I was really trying to, I was trying to get a young man a pass, man. I've given him a pass. I've given him a pass so many times, man. It's just like, it's almost like I kind of got tired for it. I felt like I was making excuses. And you gotta think, I'm up here in Baltimore. I go across the DMV. I'm from Landover. You can call me DCPG. Living in Baltimore, I know the law of the land. I have people in Virginia. I'm pulling for Keyshawn. Like, I feel like, man, I'm trying to embody the whole culture. I fuck with the Russells. Tank is my guy. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't really understand. And I know the backdrop to a lot of these guys and how A lot of these guys, man, they grew up fighting. They grew up in the amateurs together. But I said it a long time ago. It's like I said, man, I would actually support Teo. I would support Teo up into the fact to where he said something to where if I go support him at a fight, it might be me against a guy that proclaims himself to be a Latino brother. I said I would support him. Right? But between, you know, he said something, and I took it as personal, like the ultimate disrespect. When he said that Tank had some DSLs, then this was around the time when Tank was in jail, man. Like that was the craziest part. It's like, man, like, like, you know, I don't separate myself from real life, man. When I get online, man, trust me, I don't. Trust me, I don't. But when he said that, when that man was in jail, that man Tank was in jail, man. Righting the wrong from what, like 2 years prior to when he actually got in there, righting the wrong for that, right? And when this man was in jail, Teo said this man had some DSLs. I'm like, man, so even if that get across for the media, like this man might be on the inside with somebody that know that, man, it's gonna be a long time before they see the light of day, but that's gonna be their time to shine. Like, do you know the implications of the words that you speak out your mouth, man? They can render real consequences elsewhere. So this is not the first time we heard Teo and his father, because at first I had to check myself. I said, man, why you putting up this shield for Teofimo Lopez? And I'm like, Mike, what are you talking about? If you listen, I'm gonna tell you, right? I said, why you putting up this shield for Teo when it comes down to Keyshawn? And I'm like, well, listen, man, like, contrary to popular belief, Teo got some legacy, you know what I'm saying? Keyshawn, yeah, he do have legacy. He coming from the Olympics, and you know what I'm saying? He doing his thing, but like, resume-wise, it's like, man, it's not right. And then I had to check myself. I said, you know what? He's the young guy calling on the next guy while doing his thing. That's why I salute Key. I said, because I came out to the video, I said, man, Keyshawn Davis has an obsession with Teofimo Lopez. I've seen something here recently where people try to come back and remix the whole clip. I'm gonna revisit it, but if they pursue down that path like they reinventing the wheel, I'm gonna have to expose some shit. But I'm sitting here looking at Keyshawn chasing Teo, and I'm like, hold on, who am I to tell the young guy trying to make his bones and he barking up a Teo tree when Teo is barking up a bud tree? He even said boots. He said, shit, I'll go up and get Norman. And who am I to disagree, because it's right up along the lines of the WBO, which Teo always knew he had a plan. He told us the plan before the plan revealed itself, and he went out and did what he said. We know he's ups and he's down. We know where he come from. We know his background, his lineage, father, son, coach. Like the underdog people, the people that come from nothing, they root for that. But it comes a point in time where you start talking out your mouth and you start saying things to where it's beyond boxing. Now, if the shoe was on the other foot, the people love to talk about watermelons, and then other people get offended when people talk about tacos. And like, I'm like, damn, don't we all love nachos? Like what are we talking about? But there come a point in time where people start saying certain things out their mouth, and it's a pattern. So I was just like, dang, at first I was going hard on my boy Key. I was like, dang, you beat up his father? Then I was trying to do everything, because I'm not an insider, but every resource, every nook and cranny I could search, I went and looked at the story, and basically, Teo and his father was out of pocket. He just was around some real motherfuckers like Keyshawn and them, and they were just like, nah, you know what I'm saying? It don't go down like that. It's going to be some honor and some respect. So meanwhile, in the boxing game, where Teo done did so much, he came out of pocket. His father came out of pocket. he got around some real ones, and they told that motherfucker, like, stop this shit. And then you see Tio pussy ass up there on stage telling me, don't call me out before the next fight. And I was just like, dang, man, I was really trying to give it to him because I'm like, dang, the Devin OnlyFans had him shook. He painted the bad rep. They were running YouTube. They was fucking up everybody from Gary Russell to Tank to Tio. They were running around shitting on everybody, and because you had a whole lot of YouTube minions with batteries in their back, loud packs, probably getting all kind of bags. I think the bags haven't run out because they still haven't started telling the truth. But I digress. T.O. was one of the ones that was shitting on. He was one of the ones that Devin and them was shitting on the most, but he did everything that Devin Haney did before him. It's just in the process he's had his ups and downs, but when it really break it down, it's really what the shit that's been coming out of his mouth. Like the thing that's been coming out of his mouth. The last company I was with, one of the sharpest young brothers, I called myself taking him under my wing when I was at the job. He was Honduran. He knew all about T.O. Because it's like when I was at work, everybody wanted to talk boxing. He knew all about T.O. He was Honduran. I started looking at him. I was like, man, this young brother sharp. You know what I'm saying? And every time we talked about boxing, when it came to me and him on a job, he would talk about T.O. And I would give him the update. Why? Because I used to be a T.O. fan. But there's only so many times you can smack us in the face. And I'm always pulled in different directions because the whole thing I be saying, like from the one man, Pastor Gooch, and I give him full credit. We sit down, we had conversations. We went at it, went back and forth, blah, blah, blah. We got to understand him. We speak civilly. I know where to holler at him at when he come on, and we got a little rationale. We can go back and forth. Die-hard Bud fan. I let him know I'm a Bud fan. And one of the things I couldn't get was how would Boots be able to get the fight? Like, he done everything as far as, like, standing in line and fighting common opponents, a.k.a. triangle theories. I ain't gonna charge you nothing for that. He done did all of that. 32 fights, 29 knockouts, you know what I'm saying? He waited his time like Stan Giannis, like Virgil, before he got rhabdomyolysis. But I digress. I was saying, how can Boots get the fight? Gooch was saying, man, you already know how to get the fight with Bud, man. You got to get disrespectful. And I said, well, dang, man, I'm like, I look at Bozy, I look at the lineage, man. Them boys from Philly, man, they really be on their shit, man. They ain't really going to do, like, you already know how it is in Philly. I got it tatted on my shoulder. I'm an Eagles fan to the death. Like, to be an Eagles fan, you got to have thick-ass skin. I've been like this since the 6th, 7th grade. So I relate. And I'm like, well, how do Boots get it? Because Boots is not going to be, he ain't going to get out there and get disrespectful. He not going to disrespect Bud. But guess what? T.O.'s been very disrespectful. Like between Tank, because I've been on the campaign. I've been on this since what I say? That was what? Was that August? No, was that July 21st? I think it was July 21st. I was saying, why not? If you hard at Loma ducking, you reach out to Shakur, and it wasn't for you just to figure out what he had for breakfast and shit. We know you was trying to make a fight, and he chose to go fight Cordina, and now he laid up. Okay, cool. But Ranchak, they probably ain't gonna let you spike his ass, because they don't even know what they got. They're gonna probably put Keyshawn in that spot if Keyshawn get past Lima. But if you was willing to negotiate with Top Rank, then T.O. over there, he always crying about a dance partner. The nigga just fought Claggett. 7 losses before that. People say he went tooth and nail. He didn't spark him. He been calling out Bud. And I say, hey, as far as lineage-wise, this dude did everything Devin Haney did before Devin Haney. He beat Lomachenko, made him put his hands in his pockets for the first 8 rounds. He spiked Richard Comey before that to get an IBF belt, which was the only thing Loma wanted. People can try to revise history all they want to. It's not going to work. You can say what he want, but he jumped up and because people be playing the age well games, he wound up spiking Jermaine Taylor. Made him look pedestrian. Even though Catterall got it first and got robbed on the scorecard. That's why I like the knockout artists. Once you figure him out, you take his ass out. Because even if you win a fight like O'Shaquie, they ain't going to give it to you. Against Conceição, but they going to get it again. They getting it right. But I was saying, why can't Tank just fight Tio? He fit all of the criteria. I said, why? Because Tank, they going to look back in the picture they going to paint is that, oh, but Tank didn't fight Lomachenko, and then he didn't fight Devin Haney, and then he didn't fight Tio, and he didn't fight Kambosos. Like Kambosos was somebody, but the reality is, Devin broke his goddamn neck to go fight Kambosos. I ain't never seen nobody take no shit like that to go fight nobody twice in Australia and try to make this big glorious story. Yeah, it's time zones and all that, but when all your life you've been fighting everybody with the biggest advantage, rehydration, size, reach, everything over every goddamn body. Come on, man. Kambosos caught lightning in a bottle against T.O. He went in there like a fucking bull in a china shop. And he lost. But T.O. beat Loma first. T.O. moved up. He got Josh Taylor. You got to think. Josh Taylor started dropping belts not to fight a Subriel Matias. How you think them rings popped out? Because them rings had popped out before T.O. had fought Josh. He gave him up. He didn't want to fight some of them motherfuckers at 40. So I try to give T.O. his credit. But how far do we let shit slide? Because somewhere sprinkled in there is, how you shouldn't be taking the path of least resistance. I was that guy. I was the one that was always going to take the path of least resistance, right? Went through some shit, and I realized, and I look back, I started analyzing, studying. I said, oh, yeah. See, when you take the path of least resistance, right, what it does is it forces people to push harder. They'll go deeper. They trying to scar you. Like every time, like if you take the path of the path of least resistance because you already know, like, man, I got more than lose in this motherfucker right here. Like if you keep getting out of motherfuckers' way and you keep letting them pass, see, it'll get to where they stepping on your toe and then they bumping up against you. And for real, like in the real world, like when you out and about it, we really playing a no contact sport. I don't forget that when I get online. I be trying to keep shit subjective and about boxing. But it appalls me that none of the big names, I could put anybody's name, but I swear if I put anybody's name, anybody channel, anybody who I have an ounce of respect for, if I put their name out right now, they'll be like, oh, you just trying to clout chase, fill in the blank. So I'm not going to do it. But how the fuck do we have a whole show about Tank telling Devin that you really didn't have a good game plan? Move on. You sound like you Punani. Move on. You got your dub back. But all I hear when I hear Devin is like he lost. It sounds like he lost. Like he feel like, yeah, you got cheated, but while you a victim? But how is that the loudest thing when Tio is out here being disrespectful? How did that get more play? And then I look back at it, I say, man, listen, man, these guys can be in camouflage all they want. Some people just be on some Latin shit. They'll condone and complain about some Latin shit. Because I went over how Canelo, he damn near had his own weight class at 155. Canelo was known for giving people short camps. Why? Because of some of the promoters they be dealing with. If you pound for pound talent, shouldn't nobody be taking no short camp to fight you? Shouldn't nobody be taking no low ball offer to fight you? But short camps, rehydration clauses. Let's not talk about the taco meat. The tacos. But we act like it be all in disguise. It be like just like the air that we breathe, that we know that we need, but we just can't see. It's right here. This man opened up his mouth. He done said a lot of things. Then you see him over there with the Canelos and all them. So now he's smelling himself. So now he can say whatever. And at first I was just like, man, T.O. got a right to be able to call out Bud. Why? Because Bud was calling out Canelo. It was dog eat dog. And no matter where you heard this somewhere else, I promise I'm going to do a remix, especially if they don't cut that shit out. But I was the first one saying that Keyshawn up here barking for T.O. T.O. up here barking for Bud. Or Boots. Boots up here barking for Bud. Bud up here barking for Canelo. I said that's what's right in boxing. So if any of them fights happen, I'm with it. But somewhere along the line, depending on what kind of only fan you is, you're going to try to politic it away. Like Solange and shit. I tried to politic it away. Like, that's what you're going to do. But you're not going to look at it in real time. You're not going to really look at it the way it really need to be looked at. Any of them fights are good. Why? Because it's lineage. These guys are pound for pound. A loss should not matter. As long as you willing to go out on your sword and you ain't quitting and you showing effort, that's all we really give a fuck about. But now people could just walk around saying whatever the fuck they want to say, and we ain't gonna say nothing, and all the major channels are gonna pit us all up against each other, and ain't nobody gonna really check the real shit. And then people call up and talk about, oh man, you just going for this person because they that. It's like, no, because if the shoe was on the other foot and Tank said some shit like that, or Bud said some shit like that, it'll be nothing for y'all to counsel them. So I'm calling for T.O. to either he gonna counsel him, or Tank, Boots, or Bud gotta smoke his ass. How about that? Because T.O. done said some canceling shit. T.O. should have been canceled based on the shit that he be saying. This ain't no jokey joke. And don't try to defer to what Ryan said. Because you can't claim mental health. They both be claiming mental health. They all getting hit in the head. Tank get the most disrespect. These niggas get to say the most disrespectful shit. And then we do shit about Tank who doing his numbers. He doing his numbers. He getting in the ring, he knocking people out. He ain't asking you to wait around and look at the count and do the CompuBox and figure out whether you watching art or not. He ain't going 12 rounds with a Claggett. He ain't picking his second op coming off a loss who just got knocked out. He minding his business doing numbers. But he trying to get, I believe him now. At first I was like, oh man, I don't know. I mean, I thinking, why? Because it only make business sense. Bud is trying to go up there and do something and nobody really, people saying they want it and they want the bag, but I believe Bud now that he really trying to go up there and get Canelo. But I'm like, listen, man, if Canelo ain't ever gonna fight you, bruv, spike T.O. ass, man. He done disrespected all of us. Eddie Hearn done played us with the Boots and Norman situation, got people shitting on the Normans, where it's like, no, the Normans got another fight. He gonna defend his belt. He probably gonna knock Buddy out looking spectacular fashion, maintain his belt, not give up his leverage, because it is a unification. And if it come around to Eddie having to pay more money after fucking up the purse bid, after underbidding the Normans or not sprinkling a little extra, the same shit that Frank Martin said, what are we talking about? Because he about to wind up fighting the same dude. And he gonna have to pay about just as much as if he would have paid the Normans to get a unification, but this is gonna be a title defense. Either that or pop that belt out, a low ball offer with Conwell, So we can say Boots want Bud, but if Turkey Sheik ain't gonna get involved and sprinkle nothing extra on it, we can't ask for Boots and Bud. It boils down this to, hey, listen, Bud. T.O. is a snack. He a snack. You can go back and look at some of the videos I did about you, Bud, if you want to. I was talking about outside of the ring shit. I went back and looked at a lot of these videos and said, you know what? Listen, man. People let the outside of the ring shit overshadow this. If you can't get Canelo, homie, grab the whole Latin market and spark to your ass. Why? Because he been getting disrespectful. He got lineage. He got 2 divisions under him. He got lineal up under him. He been getting disrespectful. So if your man say that all Boots had to do was get disrespectful, T.O. checks that block and he got lineage. Ain't nobody gonna say you ain't gonna get no credit for that. Spark his ass. He's asking for it. T.O. said Tank had some DSLs while the man was locked up. Tank, he asking for it. Boots, you need a name with some lineage. T.O. is asking for it. Because in any other situation, anything that something like T.O. said, that would be words for cancellation. So my question to everybody out here across the nation, should T.O. get smoked? Or are we pulling for cancellation? You gotta understand, the shit over here is binary, man. We not gonna do no quantum physics. You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing no quantum physics. It's binary. Either we canceling T.O. or which one of these motherfuckers we want to smoke him. You know, because he don't get no more passes. I went down how I defended him. I went down his lineage. I got videos up here where I was actually saluting T.O. even when he reinvented himself. Like, he came back. I was one of the people that was like, man, you can't just discount that. I was one of the people going against the whole motherfucking Devin Haney cult when it came down to T.O. and certain things. So before you think I'm just jumping on this or jumping on that, it's like either we're going to cancel this motherfucker or Tank, Boots, or Bud gotta smoke this fool. Those are the options. What is we doing? What are we doing? I'm going back up to the comments. I'm just now looking at them. You know what I'm saying? I had to get that off because, you know what I'm saying? When somebody hop up here and I afford somebody the opportunity, I don't want nobody to say I ain't give everybody a fair chance. Larry Liston, why do you want people to be canceled? I don't want B-Hop or Haney to get canceled. Most grown men work every day. I ain't got time to be offended over something some boxer or celebrity says. Okay, you right. You right. You are entitled to your perspective, Larry Liston. I appreciate your contribution. Yet here your ass is here getting offended. Cookie Monster. She do that body work. You know what I'm saying? Could never be offended by words. He's allowed to have his opinion. I'm just asking the question. If you listen longer, maybe you'll get an answer. His twins, salute. Salute Bodywork. Salute everyone. Salute his twin. C-Dub. May Lazar Conseba. What's up, May Lazar, man? Good to see you. Keyshawn need to do his own path and stay away from Andy Cruz. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the only thing. But I like Keyshawn, man. C-Dub, facts. We need trash talking and disrespecting boxing to make it more controversial and interesting. Okay, so you saying you with the WWE shit. Okay. T.O. good, but his problem is he let his emotions sometimes get the best of him in the ring. And he's like the Hispanic version of Conor McGregor, but Conor more accomplished. Might not have been able to put it better than that, Terrell. We'll parking lot that. I'll parking lot that for now. I'll parking lot that for now. Interesting perspective. T.O. confidence gets a little delusional. Exactly. And I think boxers gotta be delusional at some point in time. But I'm trying to say, let's be realistic. I'm not calling for it, really. I'm not calling for it. Because I would never ever condone somebody getting their water turned off. So you gotta understand what I'm saying. So when it comes down to the choice that I presented, ultimately, you know what body work. I want somebody to smoke them. But if we're going to go by the rules, and because people can say certain things, I'm just trying to figure out why the Tank get so much heat today for saying, okay, Dev, you sounding soft. It was more than just the dude was on PEDs. It was your failed game plan. Move on. Why is he getting more flack than somebody that's actually out here being racial? Like, why is everybody so turn the other cheekish when it comes to certain people? Like, that's what I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding, like, why are we so turn the other cheek and we're just so passive when it comes to certain people saying certain things that if other people said it, and I don't even want to be funny, but if I brought up some of the things that other people say, now, I was in the military. I was in a foxhole with a little bit of everybody. So I already know, like, I was in a foxhole with so many different people. We didn't look at it like that. We had our own little inside jokes and shit like that we understood. There was it was some inside shit. But on a level like this, well, you know, we in fragile times to where, you know, they'll just divide and conquer us just to get a buzz. Like, do you really want smoke? Or you trying to get smoke? Y'all going at it. Roll Rage. What's up, Bodywork? Salute, Roll Rage. Salute, brother. Bud is a stepping stone for Boots. That's all it is. It's a step to up his value. And Bud don't want a young buck to cash out on him and prefer it someone with experience like Canelo. There's logic to that. There's reasoning to that. There is logic and reasoning to that. I mean, I can get down with that. Even though he not beating Canelo despite being tough. Bud trying to cash out and walk off into the sunset. Bud will be 37 years old next week. T.O. not beating Tank. T.O. is tough with skill, but Tank is more explosive and faster at everything T.O. can do. T.O. never fought no one close to Tank. And most TO opponents have poor footwork, except Loma. You going in, man. I appreciate all the contributions, Terrell. El Pinche OG. Nah, T.O. is cool. If the Afros can clown about tacos and burritos, he can clown about banana. Keep it even. And I want you to show up, El Pinche. Show up. Don't just pop in on me now. Show up now. Like come back then. Come back. Cause when we knock the burritos out his ass, you know what I'm saying? Like when Tank or Bud or Boots knock the burritos out his ass, I don't want y'all to be all just sitting around just shitting on yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody didn't just hit a bean motherfucking pinata. Don't show back up. But I appreciate that. I understand. Yeah, we can clown. And I understand that from a military standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Where like some of my best folks, I don't even see that shit. In my close personal, I don't look in and be like, oh, my Asian guy or my El Salvadorian guy. No, I be looking like, oh, Alex and Oscar. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't look at it like that. Damn, body work, you cooking. C-Dub, what was that, 624? Okay. T.O. did good against Loma. T.O. did excellent against Loma. But his emotions got the best of him against Cambosos. Yeah, throwing haymakers. T.O. more accomplished than Tank. Let that sink in. At numbers, I mean, as far as lineage and accolades, yeah. Accolades, yeah. Accolades, yeah, but I guess, you know, accolades, of course. That's why I want Tank to go ahead and right that wrong, spike T.O. ass, and people gonna come up with another excuse. But you're right, he is as far as accolades and belts and all that shit. Yeah, he is. Yeah, put T.O. in there with a Frank Martin. You know what I'm saying? I can't blame Shakur for Frank Martin not getting in there because Frank Martin pulled out. I can't blame Shakur for that. But yeah, I would like to see T.O. against a Frank Martin. He had a Richard Comey, but Richard Comey wasn't a Frank Martin, even though Richard Comey was more of a striker at that point in time. And like I said, I'm a T.O. fan, man. It's just this shit. You know, this shit divides the fan. And you already know because I was talking about this over here. I was talking about this the other day. And well, the last couple weeks, I've been talking about this. They do a lot of this. And that's just between us. So even when you try to rock with somebody else, you get this. And then it's passive. It's like, oh, no, you overreacting. Okay. And you minimize it. But why isn't... I thought that maybe the stuff that T.O. said, because those were words that came out of his mouth, versus what somebody like Tank tweeted. Like, words coming out of somebody's mouth is more important than what somebody tweeted. But we see where all the energy lay when he offended two people. More than just two people. I just hope, look, this is my whole thing though. Y'all know my slogan. I got it from one of my favorite boxers. Keep the same energy. Y'all keep the same energy, man. So when somebody who look like myself come out and say some real crazy shit, right? I want y'all to keep the same energy. I want everybody to keep the same energy, man. Like, we can't be like, y'all gotta check your folks. I would check my people. Like, if I had somebody and they would just go over, I'm like, hold on, man. Like, I would check my people and say, hold on, man. Come on, man. Do you want to fight or not? Because saying that ain't what, like, I guess making a call to Al Heyman since you free. Because it's funny how we heard we heard that it might have been rumors of T.O. going over there with Matchroom. But you'd rather say some stuff like what you said versus making a call to Al to holler at Tank. That's all I'm saying, though. We got to keep the same energy. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. T.O. did say some such when he was allegedly retiring. That's what I'm saying. Like you okay, so if you ain't a part of the, you know what I'm saying, that community, right? You'll come out and be able to say that another grown man has some DSLs. Like, first of all, I would kind of be offended personally. You know what I'm saying? On some no Diddy. No 1,000 bottles of lubricants type stuff. Listen, do you know what it says? Like, and you can say blame it on body work, but you can say body work think too much, right? But what I look like telling another man he got some DSLs? Like, use your critical thinking skills. The only DSLs I would identify with would be on a woman. That's just me, though. That's just me, though. But what would I look like while a man is in jail? As an alpha heterosexual male, saying that another man has some DSLs. See, because a lot of the popular channels, they be off on their own agenda and kicking their own politics and kicking this can back over there and straddling the fence and risking their nuts so much that they don't have time to sit down and let this shit resonate with them. Because they'll act all masculine. They'll tell you all about their wife and they'll mention their spouse and then they'll do all of that, but they don't check some of the shit when they have a voice and a platform. They don't check a lot of the suspect shit. Now, if you are that way, that's your forte. And if that's what you do behind closed doors, A-okay. But for some of us, when we heard that Teofimo Lopez said that Javante Tank Davis has some DSLs, we was like, that's not A-okay. It went over a lot of y'all heads. So for me, I was already done at that point. I was just like, listen, man, if there was such a thing as an avatar and you can jump in a Tank body and go in there and, you know what I'm saying? Tank. Do what you gotta do. That wasn't enough, though. Then you had the Keyshawn Davis in the DB3 story and the whole camp and all that stuff. You have that whole story and how that went down and how, they were trying to, like, T.O. Senior was trying to act like the victim and all this stuff. I'm like, hold on. But when you dig deep in the crates and you start looking at it, it's like, hold on, man, you just got an environment where they wasn't having that shit. We know where you grew up and how you do it, but it's a way that you insinuate and how you influence stuff and how you make stuff to be. So when you bring that into the game and you want that to be, that's what you want to be known for right now, when the man free. So I guess it'll be easy to get some smoke if you say something disrespectful like what he said, rather than just pick up the phone and call Al. And since Bud doing his own thing, well, call Bud. My whole thing with Bud is they say all you gotta do is get disrespectful. That's what his you know what I'm saying, some of his most important, you know what I'm saying, side-by-side fans say all T.O. got to do, or all anybody got to do is just get disrespectful to get a Bud fight. Now, I think Bud just checked him. He was working over there with Canelo. I think it would have sent a great message and his lineage for Bud, because if he's saying Boots ain't got nothing to alter, I don't think Boots ever going to come out and, you know what I'm saying, get disrespectful to Bud, because he wasn't Bozy, he ain't raised him like that. T.O. just, you know what I'm saying, he just zany enough to do it, and he did it. So I'm like, is it gonna be Tank, Boots, or Bud? Tank, Boots, or Bud, because we know Devin ain't gonna do it. He trying to play the villain. 1 minute he the villain, and the next minute he the victim. I don't know what the fuck is with him. Because he ain't gonna do it. He just came out, and we don't even know whether he's the guy on the left or the guy on the right. Because from the right, he'll kill you. From the left, he Mr. Glass. We had people as late as today talking about all he had was the left hook. I'm like, all he had was the left hook? Well, if according to me, look at the right side of his face. That look like a more than the left hook. He ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna do it. But as far as pivotal, as far as Four Kings, as far as pound for pound, as far as being close in size and stature, as far as being even Steven, except for Tank didn't run after the accolades and shit. He didn't. He said he going for the money. People knock him for it, but guess what? He getting to the money. T.O. said he going lineage and the championship, and he just been talking shit and having his ups and downs, and I'm saying, why not? In the perfect world, it's no other time, man. And as one of the biggest Tank fans in the world, that's all I'm asking for, man. That's all I'm asking for, man. People done twisted around the people, you know, like people have even twisted around this situation right here. Because it's funny that Teofimo Lopez and them turned down the Brian Norman's thing. And see, Teofimo Lopez getting a Brian Norman on his way to Bud would be the equivalent of what I was saying for Bud. If Bud went up and got Laura on his way to Canelo, that would make sense. But guess in that situation, guess who said no? Teofimo didn't want that Brian Norman smoke. Top Rank had already had something going on for him. He kept that in the bag. That's the bird in the hand. He was going for two in the bush if Eddie and them was going to be willing to pay him something for Boots. But since this is chess, not checkers, and we got to actually see what happens in the move, we're seeing that Boots got a little bit of problem. But I'm like, as far as name and lineage, Boots. Well, if Tia was coming across the street, he was willing to go up and fight goddamn Terrence Bud Crawford at 54. Boots. What do you got? What language do you got to tell Eddie to make that goddamn fight? But T.O., he was tiptoeing across the street talking about, yeah, we won the Nationals at the same time. Yeah, me and Boots that same year. He tiptoed across that shit. And then he come out here recently and say some shit. Well, them's fighting words, man. So Tang Bud or Boots, what you gonna do, man? Them's fighting words. Since nobody want to see him canceled because everybody want to be so passive. But let the shoe be on the other. Let the people on the left say some shit like what the dude on the right said. They would be looking to get him canceled because they're always trying to get him canceled. But Bodywork say, let's go ahead and get him smoked. It's just amazing to me. It's just amazing to me how none of the major channels is picking this up. This ain't hot news. This ain't nothing of importance or whatever. So You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you kind of gotta wonder why. Because it's an agenda. It's a pack. I say, man, if we put everybody on the scales, if we line everybody up with the same ruler, we will be more on the same page. But we still in the Tower of Babel age. You know what I'm saying? We still in the Tower of Babel. And I think that some of the things that came out right here about one of hip hop's, you know what I'm saying, most iconic idols, like, you know what I'm saying, coming down to shame and getting indicted. I think this needs to be a lesson learned to all these people that's going to snake, hook, and crook their way to the top and be all sloppy and messy and pull people down and drag all this shit out. I think it's really going to be a testament. That should have been a testament to people who stay down, don't compromise themselves, to live their life and do what they can do and contribute whatever they can contribute. They just keep doing the right thing. Why? Because you can get so far ahead. You can get so far beyond and up in the clouds to where you can do whatever. In this grand opening, your 15 minutes of fame is over. Grand closing. And channels like this, they're still going to be doing that body work, being consistent, something that you can count on. Something that's going to hold your feet to the fire. Fruits and veggies, not that Reggie. Fact-based content. So I just want to put something on everybody's mind and give something for everybody to think about, because everybody talking about speculation and who might fight this and who might fight that. But let one fighter who's supposed to be the money man tweet one thing, you're going to focus on that. But a grown man can say out of his mouth something and you're going to focus on that. Well, I want to leave you with this last thing. I'm going to leave you with this one last thing. I was talking about the 48 laws of power. I was talking about the 48 laws of power, and I was saying that taking a path of least resistance. I had to learn that one the hard way. And maybe that's some shit that I'll talk about on you know what I'm saying, not on my boxing channel, because this is one of the channels that try to keep it straight boxing. For real, for real. But I'm going to leave y'all with this. In the 48 laws of power, number 15 is crush your enemy totally. All great leaders since Moses have known that a feared enemy must be crushed completely. Sometimes they have learned this the hard way, like myself. If one ember is left aligned, no matter how dimly it smolders, a fire will eventually break out. More is lost through stopping halfway than through total annihilation. The enemy will recover and will seek revenge. Crush him, not only in body, but in spirit. Eureka. Recognize that you will accumulate enemies who you cannot bring over to your side, and that to leave them any escape will mean you will never secure. Crush them completely. Crush them completely. And it's real interesting because if you go on in the 48 laws of power, there's a lot of them, like, know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. That's one of them. One of them is do not commit to anyone. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than you are, Mark. I think they were saying smart. I think at one point in time you heard Tank say something like that. That you can reason that at least he went to 21. I don't know how many of them he mastered, but at least with him saying that, you can say, well, damn, he at least got to 21 because he said that on his last fight. Use the surrender tactic, transfer weakness into power. 23, concentrate your forces. Play the perfect courtier. Recreate yourself. That might be Teo. Keep your hands clean. How many of us can say that? Make use of the cat's paw. Oh man, I'm thinking I think I'm trying to master that one. You know what I'm saying? I don't refer to it, but that's a good one. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. Man, I see a lot of people working on that one. I see a lot of people working on that one. That's number 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. I see a lot of people playing with that one, boy. Be careful what you play with, man. Because guess what? When you create a lot of mouths to feed that's dependent on you, ooh, when they get hungry, boy, still a lot of mouths to feed. I'd rather teach everybody how to get their own, man. So I'm not responsible for feeding nobody but my lady and myself. We're going to skip over that one because we always got to walk bold. Plan all the way to the end. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. Shit. Tank might be on that one. You know Floyd on that one. You know Canelo on that one. So you got a reason they at least made 31. Number 32. Teo might be in this one. Play the people's fantasies. And I'm not going to give you too much game because some of them, if I put it out, man, y'all going to be up all night trying to figure this out. But be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. And when you reach that one, some people ain't going to understand it. You just got to be able to ignore the bullshit. Master the art of timing. I think that's something where you always going to have to revisit. Number 37. Teo might be on this one. Create compelling spectacles. Number 38. This is another one, man, where I see a lot of people operating on this level. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people operating on this level. If y'all ever seen Gotham, if you look at the rise of Penguin and how, you know what I'm saying, the Penguin went up through the ranks, man, I see a lot of these YouTubers out here. Think as you like, but behave like others. That one to preach. I ain't gonna charge you nothing for that, man. That you should be able to eat off of that for about the next about 42 days. Stir up waters to catch fish. That's a popular one. Despise the free lunch. Don't take that free lunch, man. That courtesy call, that free lunch, boy. You know what I'm saying? Woo. I might be giving away too much game, man, just because people don't have the time to sit down, man. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. I think that's what Devin experienced when he went in there with Ryan, man, because he just overlooked everything. He did this and this and this, and now he the victim because, you know, the Oster reign is just like, God damn, man, shit, man. Don't step into another man, a great man's shoes, boy. Don't ever try to rock your own shoes. If you don't know nothing about electricity, stick to plumbing, goddammit. And I ain't gonna give y'all no more, man, because that's just too much goddamn game. Do it on your own time, man. I just hope that every time you come through, man, you hear something that you like, something that'll force you to use your critical thinking skill. something that challenge you, and you're not on that rote memory learning system. That one where everybody got to put a battery in your back, and you have these idols to where no matter what they say, you look up to them, and no matter what, you're just going to open up and say, ah. Not me. Not me. So the question is, if you see this on the playback, holler at me. Talk to me. I'll talk back. This recent stuff that Tio said, man, since y'all ain't gonna want to counsel him, who gonna smoke him? Is it gonna be Tank or is it gonna be Bud? If not, then Boots. Because I know if Keyshawn can line his ass up in his crosshairs, hey, Keyshawn growing on me, man. Keyshawn growing on me, man. I hope he, you know what I'm saying? I hope he do his thing with Gustavo Lemos, man. I'm gonna try to reach out to Kelvin, you know what I'm saying? And see if I can get Kelvin on the channel. You know what I'm saying? So put out some positive energy for your boy, man. If everything goes my way, I'll be able to at least get Kelvin on the channel, man. I've been following him and watching him, you know what I'm saying? And I think that he's on his way, man. He just gotta stay on this path, man, and he might be one of the boxing's best kept secrets, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. But who gonna smoke this man? But I appreciate everybody who stopped through. Everybody who said what's up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who at least left a comment. Again, if you hear this on the playback, understand that my whole goal is to be the alternative to what everybody else saying. You can take what they got. This is fruits and veggies, not that Reggie. This is not going to get you jumping for joy. Not going to get the congregation jumping for joy. I try to have nutritional value. It's historic. It's history. Facts. Data. Logic. Sound. Reasoning. Not just opinions. Not just emotions. But let's just be real. That's what this is. Champion Sports Boxing. Salute to Champion Sports Boxing. Hey, check out Champion Sports Boxing. Check out Champion Sports Boxing. You know what I'm saying? Long-time supporter of the channel. And thank you, C-Dub. Keep up the good work, Bodywork. I appreciate you, man. But yeah, I just wanted to put something on your mind. You know what I'm saying? That's all I really wanted to do, man. But I'm gonna watch these fights tonight. It's a good card tonight. And probably between today and tomorrow. Between today and tomorrow, you'll probably see. You'll probably definitely see a video about this. Can Dark Horse Dubois upset AJ? I put the thumbnail up months ago now in my lives. But I like to wait to the end because people, you know, it's treacherous out here on YouTube, y'all. I don't know if you know that. It's treacherous out here, but thanks for everybody who support, give their, you know, their feedback, whether it's negative, whether it's positive. As long as you express yourself and you got some goddamn sense, you got a partner in me, man. But anyways, thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to Body Work.